Coach John Olive joins us on the Gilly Crane hotline. Coach Olive, talked to you last week. You sounded exhausted. You sounded worried about the health of your team and maybe the penalty situation from the game before. But your kids put together a great game tonight against Marshall County and a big win.
Well, thank you. I was very proud of our young men. They they fought with everything they had to fight with, and we didn't play a perfect game, but we played hard. And considering that we were missing Bryson Korn and Kobe Burks, what they were able to accomplish tonight is just a tribute to the young men that played on that field.
You have the game tied 14-14, and you get a safety late as your defense put pressure on the quarterback and forced a grounding penalty. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we had punted the ball down deep around the 10-yard line, and they're throwing a pass, and Ty Cox, our outstanding senior defensive end, is putting the pressure on the quarterback, and the receiver that he's trying to throw to is actually coming toward our sideline, and Ty, though, has got him running toward the other sideline, and I think the young man just panicked and threw the football, and he was in the end zone when he threw it. He didn't throw it close to anybody. He threw it to his sideline, and, one of those things that if you're playing – maybe at the next level, to throw it past the line of scrimmage or whatever. But in high school football, you got to have a receiver close by, or it's a decision for grounding. But Ty Cox was the one that was putting the heat on him. There may have been another one chasing him, but Ty was the one I saw closing in on him when he threw it away. And big safety. There were 3.5 minutes to go in the game when that happened, and that was just huge.
Your team, even in spite of in addition to the safety, your defense played really, really well tonight, didn't they?
They did. Our defense has carried us all year long. We really felt like going into this season we had a chance to become good. And about midway through the season, I decided to quit saying we got a chance to be good and decided that our defense is pretty good. We can close on the football really rapid. We've got senior linebackers that know how to figure out where the ball is going, and when they start going toward it, they get there rapidly, and that's all you can ask. We got those two senior defensive ends, Ross and Cox, that are they have played outstanding this year, and so that's what carries us. The secondary tries to keep everything in front of them, and we're able to do some things secondary-wise we hadn't been able to do for the last 4 or 5 years. So it's great to see young men able to perform.
You talked about last week that your quarterback was going to have an extra burden on him, Ben Fulton. I know I think he got one touchdown pass. How did he factor or did he factor in both scores for you?
He factored in both scores. The first score, we threw a lateral back to Ty Cox, and kind of a trick play. Ben threw it back, so he doesn't get credit for it being a pass, even though it's thrown like a pass. It was a lateral, and Ty Cox, being an offensive tackle, can't catch a forward pass, so he catches the lateral, though, and runs it into the end zone as the rest of his linemen are escorting him to the end zone. So that was a big momentum play for us. It tied the game up whenever Justice Chadwick put it through to make it 7-7, and then we got the ball right back with a short field, and on the very first play, Ben hit Hunter Palmer on the post route for about a 40-yard touchdown, and so we're up 14-7, and it stayed that way until they got us on one of those plays. I don't remember. I guess it was in the third quarter. They threw a throwback to their running back going down the sideline, and our guy that was trying to run with him fell down, and so he ended up getting a touchdown. And so it looked like we were going to be 14-14 and headed for overtime. And I think we got a couple of first downs and then had to punt the ball back to them and had them pinned down deep whenever we got the safety.
Coach, you got to tangle with Maplewood again now. which a rematch means you got to where you needed to get to. I know that the game planning against Maplewood begins and probably ends with stopping their quarterback, doesn't it?
Definitely. Bobo Hodges is one of the best players in our state. He's a finalist for Mr. Football, and they're a senior-laden team like we are, and have several really, really, really good athletes. So defensively, he was the difference maker the first time we played him. He just made enough plays that they were able to beat us 14-6. Offensively, the big challenge for us is to be able to block their front four. We could not. I think we had 13 yards of rushing against them in the Week 11 ball game, and without us being able to block better than that, we'll be in trouble. So we got to try to do some scheming to see if we can't come up with a way to move the ball and keep it away from Bobo.
Will you have the services of Korn and Burks next week, or is that too early to decide on that?
It's too early.
Okay.
It'd be a long shot probably for Kobe.
Okay.
I wish we could solve Bryson's problem. Bryson is just a weird situation, is all I can say.
I understand.
It's not anything. I mean, it's just one of those things that unless we can find the magic formula, I don't know whether we're going to be able to get him to where he can open up and run. He didn't. I mean, he ran for 160 yards last week. He still couldn't run.
Right.
He just toughing it out last week, and so we've tried several different things, and I'm sure our medical people will be scratching their heads and looking through whatever they look through nowadays to try. I go YouTube everything when I need to try to fix something. I don't know what doctors do, but
it's a little bit different.
They'll be doing something to see if they can't figure out what they can do to relieve his problem.
I don't think we probably want to know what they look at, and it's a little bit different fixing a washing machine. Coach, I know that you guys have got some scheming to do to get ready for Maplewood. I appreciate you spending time with us tonight. Okay.
Well, thank you for giving us the coverage. We appreciate it very, very much.
Talk to you next week. Good luck.
All righty. Thank you.
That is John Olive, the head coach for Tullahoma on the Friday Night Thunder postgame show.